Howdy, gang, and welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host, here at the Gaming Gang channel. Thanks for joining me once again. Today, I am going to unbox and take a first look at Epic Encounters Savannah of the Gnoll Pack from Steamforged Games. This 5e D&D combat encounter includes 18 miniatures and more, and is available for pre-order for an MSRP of $54.99. This is going to land in stores on February 27th. All that said, let's swing on over to the other camera because here I've got Savannah of the Gnoll Pack for Epic Encounters. And I had to chuckle because the color on the box is almost identical to the color of my background. It's almost like exactly the same. Do want to point out the fine folks over at Steamforged Games were kind enough to provide me this copy of Epic Encounters Savannah of the Gnoll Pack. But neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the Gaming Gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share this coverage with you. These days, it's very important that you know that. Also should mention, there is a combat encounter in here. So if you are a player and your Dungeon Master has picked this up, or maybe they're about to pick this up, I would definitely recommend tune out when I start taking a look at that encounter. Even though I know nothing about it, there might be some spoilers, and you don't want the surprises ruined simply because you watched this video. But I will save that booklet for last. That way you can actually get a peek at the miniatures. So let's take a look at the back here. Red in tooth and claw, the Gnoll Pack emerges from the savannah to bring savagery and destruction to your tabletop role-playing games. With 18 highly detailed miniatures, a double-sided battle map, and a fully statted encounter, you can be ready to play in minutes. Open the box and access a world of danger and adventure, all ready to deploy in your games. Whether it's exquisitely sculpted enemies or a fully planned encounter, you can be ready to run in minutes. Sweet. Let's open this up. We have Shrine of the Kobold Queen, Lair of the Red Dragon, Caverns of the Frost Giant, and Hall of the Orc King. I have actually shared a first look at a couple of Epic Encounters in the past. One was the Giant Turtle, which was awesome. And then the other was some other aquatic monsters. So that was very cool too. So here we've got the map, or mat, I should say. Take a look at that in a second because that's dual-sided. Here is the adventure encounter, which we will look at last. And we've got our miniatures. So what I am going to do is I'm going to zoom in so we can get a far better look at the various different gnolls in this Gnoll Pack. Here we have our first sculpt. And this looks very, very detailed. This would paint up really nicely. And there are 4 of these. So that is the first. And I've got the next. Let's take a look at this. So he's carrying some javelins. Very cool. I like that quite a lot as well. I've got to say, 18 miniatures for an MSRP of $54.99. That's a pretty solid price. Looks like a glaive that this gnoll is carrying. Looks like he's pretty well armored too. I am liking this a lot. So each of these that we've looked at so far do have 4 miniatures. And of course, when we take a look at the encounter, it's going to tell us exactly what each of these represents. So next, this has 2. So there are 2 of these minis. Looks like it's carrying a scimitar, as well as, I don't know if that's supposed to be some sort of a totem, like a wand. Well, not a wand, but a staff, or if that's a weapon. Very nice. Very cool. And it almost looks like these are like glider wings on it. That's pretty nice. So there are 2 of these. Now we're going to get into a much larger miniature here. This must be our boss. And looks like he is chewing on an arm and a massive hatchet. Pretty sweet. And he's got plenty of additional weapons. Looks like he's carrying some javelins or spears as well. And this is a pretty good size miniature. I'd say, just taking a peek here, it is probably clocking in around 40 to 45 millimeters. Just a stab in the dark. Like I said, that should paint up really nice. So there's 1 of these. And then the final miniature, we actually have 3. And it's some sort of creature. And it is also wearing some armor. I gotta say, that is really nice. Really, really nice. That's one thing that I had noticed about the Epic Encounters releases that I took a look at a while ago. It's probably been a couple of years, I would guess, maybe even more. But the miniatures were so well done. Very cool. Very nice. Hopefully the camera is picking up a lot of the detail here. Just taking a peek at the preview. Looks like you should be getting a good look at these miniatures. It's also important to keep in mind that any of these miniatures could be used for any fantasy role-playing game or fantasy combat game. So it's not as if you can only use these for 5e D&D. So here is going to be our battle mat. So this is dual-sided. And it is 2 panels by 3 panels. And it is finished. So this is not just paper. So there is a treatment to this, so it'll hold up relatively well. Looks like, is this supposed to be a chasm of some sort? Possibly. There we go. So that is the battle mat. And now we'll take a peek at the encounter. I'm going to zoom back out so that we can see this booklet in its entirety. Okay, so let's jump on in. I'm not going to look at each and every page. I do want to give you a good feel for this encounter. And this booklet is going to clock in at over 30 pages. So it's going to tell you exactly what are epic encounters, what are they designed for. And then it appears that we've got some fiction, some adventure hooks, the Savannah itself. The Savannah is an old place. Perhaps it's the first place ever created. It certainly looks as though it might have been plucked from the mind of a god and immediately translated into rock and earth, populated with the first emerging life. Of course, the presence of the gnolls has marred the harsh beauty of the place. The trees are long dead and denuded of leaves. The shallow oasis amidst the coarse grass is putrid with gnollish effluent, and the long grass is turned brittle like the fingers of skeletons. Pretty nice. Okay, so we've got a breakdown of the map here. We should actually wrap up with a description and stat blocks. Here we go, of each of those minis. So we had the dire hyena, which was the last miniature we looked at. This is the dire hyena. Next up, we've got the feral gnoll. Let's see. I think it looks as if that is our feral gnoll. No, it's not. That is not it. It is this. There we go. So I'm trying to look at its face, and it's actually a pretty small picture because this booklet is not even A5 size. So that is that. Then we've got the Gnoll Reaver, which I think is what we were just peeking at. Yeah, that is the Gnoll Reaver. The Gnoll Fang, which is it our big bad? It is. That is our big bad, is the Gnoll Fang. I think we have a couple more. The Gnoll Seeker, which is also this one. I guess you can use this miniature for both. Yeah, because it says it's a feral gnoll. So that was throwing me off a little bit. We have a vulture flock. The Striga. Which are these? So that is a staff that it's carrying because it is a spellcaster. The Striga's arms have begun to form into imperfect wings, giving it a flying speed. So they are not glider wings. Those are actual wings of the creature. Sweet. And that is going to wrap up Epic Encounters Savannah of the Gnoll Pack. As far as the encounter itself, we've got our credits as well for design and art and sculpting and more. So we have got the 18 miniatures, the battle mat, the encounter. Actually, I should probably put the cover on this and make sure to put them in correctly. There we go. So we've got the encounter book, the battle mat, little advertisement, and that is what we find when we take everything from Epic Encounters Savannah of the Gnoll Pack outside the box. A big thank you to the fine folks over at Steamforged Games for sending along a copy of Epic Encounters Savannah of the Gnoll Pack for us to take a peek at. All right, if you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already, and if you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that bell. It'll not only let you know when I share videos such as this first look, it'll also inform you when my live stream, the Gaming Gang Dispatch, airs Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings right here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more you are not going to find here on the YouTube channel. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer, and until I see you next time, I certainly hope all of you out there get to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang.